Good afternoon, folks. It's your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body and Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Today is Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas. Christmas time is here. Happiness. I know. I love watching that ever since I was a kid. So anyway, folks, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through, supporting my channel, supporting this lovely lady here, and I wish you a happy Christmas and a prosperous new year. So anyway, folks, this might be this. I feel this is my last interview for the new year, and folks, you know how it is when you get a girl. You're always trying to get to her, and she finally comes your way, and it feels like yeah. But then, sometimes I gotta go pull back a little bit. I gotta pill up one of my characters, my man Jerome from Martin. Like, you remember Jerome? He was a player from the Himalayas. And right here, I got a lovely, beautiful, cute, sexy, steaming hot cup of mocha right in front of me with some light eyes. Oh yeah, man. And you know what? I got a little, three brothers. Excuse me, brothers. I got, you got to look good for a lady. You got, yeah. I got. Okay, I'm cool. Okay, cool. Okay, we have here IFBB Pro bodybuilder, Olympic competitor, Miss Danielle Willis. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for coming through. And please tell us how a beautiful woman like you is such a masculine, muscular sport like bodybuilding. Please share. Please share.
First of all, I just love being in a sport where you can strive to better yourself every day. You can envision what you want for yourself, and it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, what anyone else's standards are. Your standards are your standards. And that's what I really love about this sport, first and foremost, because, in society in general, a lot of us, especially women, we want to try and fit in, into the norms and things that we see. Well, when you're in this, your vision is your vision. To me, there really is no right or wrong way to go about this. It's, what do you like to see when you look in the mirror? And so if it comes off as masculine to someone else, okay, so be it. But to me, it's art, and it's literally like sculpting your own painting or structure, whatever that is to you, every single day.
Yeah, that's what I believe because you're no better than an artist, and you like take your body and you take it and chisel it all the rough edges, and you're building this better look to it. And the thing is, people are not come through the idea of women changing their what the ideal woman should be. Like, you are a woman, you're very feminine, very lovely, and even though you don't look like what everybody looks like, it's just it's different. Like I said, I've been a fan of women bodybuilding for a long time. My brother, he's a custom muscle max, and and as I got older, I found y'all women very stimulating and attractive. It's just a different woman. I'm from the South, and women around here are a little bit more full figured, a little thicker. I like those women too, but some about you ladies, it's just something different about you. And I think as a man, it's just and I get comments like I used to be in a lot of little sites like comments say, "Man, you ain't like that. You gay?" So wait. I'm like this. This is a beautiful woman right here in front of you. If I was gay, it'd be one thing if I had, it was into guys like, like Leela Brada, or I was a big fan of those guys back in the day, or the guys like Hunter Labrada, or Nick Walker. If I had a man crush on, okay, I do have a man crush on Vin Diesel. That's a different story. But you are a woman, you're a female, but you're an athlete too, and people got to recognize that and respect that.
Yeah, exactly. And my vision and my goal is to show that you can carry a lot of muscle and still be feminine. So, again, I just want to continue as I move forward to, yes, get better, but to stick to my vision. And that's my advice to anyone who wants to get into the sport of bodybuilding, whether you are a bikini competitor or you're a female bodybuilder like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to your vision.
Mm-hmm. Stand up
And
to it. Yeah.
right, what you see for yourself. And, you know, you obviously want to be rewarded for your work and for how well you do. But to me, again, the biggest reward is, did I outdo what I wanted? Did I bring my best? And those are the things that I've been having conversations with people in since the Olympia, things that I play over and over to myself. Did I go in with the intentions to do my absolute best? And we obviously want our absolute best to be rewarded? Sure. But I'm even more happy, grateful. It gets me emotional to know that I brought the absolute best package that I could have brought this Olympia on my terms, through different circumstances and challenges, through every possible thing that I've been through that I might touch on today and I won't touch on. I brought my absolute best. And it just shows me what is possible if you stick to your vision. And again, you may not land it, smack 100%, but if you know that you're better than where you started, you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's it, because it's about the work you put in and what you get out of it. And a lot of people, one thing about the sport, what I learned in like the people I've become friendly with, people I've met, the people who I've talked with, this sport is not only it is a draining, it's taxing physically, mentally. I mean, the ladies I talk to, they tell me things that it's just really people don't know about. And if people understand what y'all go through, the stuff you have to do, you get up every morning, have to work out, the diets, then the expense of the sport. You got to get your posing suits, you got to get your hair done, makeup done. Everybody look at the guys over here, and the guys all they got to do is put on some tan and a banana hammock or board shorts, and that's about it. We got a man, Brooke Brow, here from upstate New York. I think he's New York. We know he's from Brooklyn. Big Dog George, what up, bro? Yeah, what up to you, bro? Also, my man Sean McMillan. Good afternoon, Merry Christmas to both of you. Appreciate you, brother.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. To my man Lawrence Perkins. Good afternoon, Danielle, George. Happy holidays to you all. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you, brother. And also, Lawrence says, art, activity, active, righteous talent says it's all about you. And yeah, folks, like I said again, this lady took some time, She's a little bit late because, you know how these guys, we waiting on a date, and you're like, I sit in the car, damn, man, wait for this guy.
Blame it on CP time. I mean, I don't want to throw sometimes we got to throw those little cheap ones out. So
yeah, I know, but I'm patient.
But I really had all intentions of not.
I know. But like I said, I got to bust your balls a little bit, just so.
But I'll let you.
Yeah, she let me slide. Yeah, she let me slide, folks. Yeah. So anyway, but guys, her information in the description. You want to check her out. And this is I'm gonna tell you, weirdos out here. This is a beautiful lady. She took time for me to talk with me. Do not do this. I will find you. I will be like Neil Newson. I have a particular set of steals. Do not send her the pics. Not a one. If I find out who you are, I'm gonna use my skills on you. This woman, like my man the Joker would say, this woman is particularly beautiful. She completes me. It's rare when I find someone that completes me. I just so excited. I'm sorry, I had to pull that guy out here so often. He's that guy behind me. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back. And what was that experience being at your first Olympia? Rubbing shoulders with people like Andrew Shaw. I know, one person we met together a while back. You met Shana Boswell. You met us some time ago. I met her this summer. People like most definitely Margie V. Martin, who just ended her career, great legend in the sport. Helen Trevino, Irie Anderson, who also met at a show that you both, because last year you did the Savannah Pro. And that was my first bodybuilding show. I'm gonna show you a picture of excuse me, folks. I don't know what happened. I will show a picture real quick from that show what she did, and I think it's a picture from her. This is from her IG, and that was your debut in bodybuilding. And what was your feeling and thought at that show?
Well, first of all, it was just an amazing experience to be competing at Queen Linda Murray's show. Mm-hmm. I look up to her so much. So it was great to be at her show. And I did make a lot of good connections last year. I did meet Rashana last year. I met, excuse me, um, Donna last year, Salib, and women like them were so amazing and so welcoming. They made my experience just an amazing, just a great time. There are other ladies that I met there as well that I've kept in touch with that I'm really grateful for as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But it was a learning experience for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Last year I didn't even place, and you know, I can chalk it off to being a learning experience that I hadn't done anything before like that on that level. I had taken 2 years off from getting my pro card. And then in the beginning of that year, I lost my dad to COVID.
I'm
So,
sorry.
so 2021 was just a very tough year for me. Um, and actually making my debut was something to just kind of like get myself a little bit out of it because it took a toll on me significantly because he was my number one fan. My dad and I were really close. So there was just a lot going on. But again, it was a learning experience because it was my first show. And a bit about me, I really haven't been at this sport a very long time at all. I only did one amateur show in 2018, and then I did two national shows and got my pro card. And then, like I said, I took 2020 off, and then 2021 is when I made my debut. So fast forward, I really, all in all, going back to how I feel after this Olympia, that was my sixth show ever, ever. So for me, of course, it's going to be a lot of learning, a lot of growing, and it's also going to be a lot of joy, gratitude, and like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I do. I take a bit of pride in what I've been able to accomplish in the amount of time that I've been competing. And I'm far from done. I'm far from learning and growing. And it's really been a blessing, the people that have been placed in my life in the last few years to help get me to this point. I've had Chris Cormier at one point. He helped me before I went to nationals at North Americans and got my pro card. Melvin Anthony, the great Melvin Anthony. I had him as my posing coach last before I got my before I made my pro debut, and he helped me with some guest posing last summer. And then this year, I had Hella Trevino as my posing coach. So I've been very, very fortunate to have some amazing, and those are just three of the names that I've been blessed to learn under and grow from on this journey that I've been on. And so, yeah, and then to be on stage with her was just super amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, just to see her in action, you know, it's one thing to, the back and forth we'd have in our video chats, and I've watched her and studied her posing, but to see it like in real time and to be right there, oh my gosh, it was the best feeling. It was so cool.
I tell you, like one point when you said about your father, my mother, she had got the COVID. My mother, she had she was really, right about 2014, she had her first seizure, and had seizures, a series of seizures after that, and a stroke. I took care of her for at least about 5 years, and then last year it was 2020 when she got it, and then she passed away. I feel you about that part because my father. I wasn't that close to my father, but my mother, she was the center of my life. She was the woman that raised us kids because she had to raise six kids, two grandkids, three grandkids sometimes, even up to when she was about in her 70s. When she was already raising my brother's youngest son who had autism, and I can feel you when you lose someone like that because my mother was my woman. And now she's gone. I'm a bachelor, and just it's tough. But talking about people like Chris Camille, I remember Chris Camille back to the day. Remember the movie John Q, where the little boy says, "Chris, come here, look, Chris, come here, darling." Helen Trevino, I used to talk back and forth with her on social media, and then when we weren't sure we was going to compete, because I got a partner, we do a live stream together called Muscle Talk Mondays. He went to the New York show, he saw her there, and she kind of slipped, said she might compete, but we weren't certain because it was just big up in the air. And and you mentioned Dollar Salib. I got to meet her at Savannah also this past month. Also, Sheena Oleg, Anna Rivicchio. I met Alita Popa, a couple of ladies there too. One lady I met there on my channel, whose name I do not speak of her name because particularly, she's wrapped up in a lot of mess, so I don't speak of her. But this to be able to rub shoulders with people like this, legends, up and comers, that's great. I mean, that's a great experience. A man, Lawrence Perkins, is saying is also, art, activity, religion. You already said that. Righteous talent. Yeah, you already said that. Also, my man, Brooke Burrell, you are my George. You always have these beautiful queens on your show. Thank you, brother. Also, Shauna Miller says Danielle kind of reminds me of Laura Cray Valley. That's one of my favorites back in the day. Laura
That's a
Cray Valley,
compliment.
yeah,
Thank
that's a
you.
great compliment. I mean, Laura was just wow. She's very exotic looking, very beautiful. I mean, great
Yes,
physique. Yeah,
I study the greats. Yes, that's a
yeah, yeah.
compliment.
Brooks also says
Mariah Carey.
you're my hero, bro. Always
I
beautiful
got I
women.
got Mariah Carey from one of my yearbook photos in high school, so that's kind of funny that somebody said Mariah Carey.
You should do a video where you singing all you want to do for Christmas like that. That people do, guys will
Oh
love it.
yeah, from that era,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
her
yeah.
era and stuff when she had the curly hair and stuff, like
Yeah,
the early
yeah,
90s.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I've been
yeah,
watching
that,
it before.
yeah. That'd be some. Hey, guys, yeah, the Smos will love it. We like I said, we just like I said, something about you ladies, especially. We're just. I think we're not just a fan of just your bodies. We're a fan of your passion for the sport. And as I talk about my channel, this sport is a difficult sport. As I said again, the mental factor, the physical factor, the expense of it. As people are talking, it's more of a hobby sport. But as an athlete, do you think you believe personally in yourself you should get more benefits out of the sport than just the person work you put into it? You should get more out of it.
Oh, I believe that definitely there's a disparity as there are in most industries. Um, and what it takes to put on the final package, it definitely needs to be. I think there needs to be more. I don't necessarily. I don't want to say if it necessarily negate or translates to monetary, although that is nice. But I think just more. I, I believe that when you get to that level and you have such a coveted position, that there needs to be more avenues and things for you. And I can see that they're getting better with it, but I still feel that we have a ways to go.
Hmm. That's true because, like I said, I know Margie. She put out a thing where she talked about how the last Tampa, how when Chelsea won, she got like $2,000. It was about 3 4 years ago. It was $5,000. Then you look over here, like Heidi Chopin. He walks away with $400,000. Where Iris, that's like where Andrea and Natalia walks away with like 50,000, 50 $40,000. Where which come on, even though that Andrea she wins another 50K and a car over at the Rising Phoenix, still it's not it's comparison to what the guys get.
Right, right. And definitely she and anyone who is in that position deserves more.
Hmm. Also, you were in your before you got into bodybuilding, like you said, you kind of started a little bit late in this career. You also were a dancer, and and that we'll show some pictures right here, right here. She was a dancer. We post right here. That's that's good. You bring in that you do have this talented
I
background,
still am a dancer.
mhm, and
And I'm a dance teacher. So
uh yeah, it's just, got some pretty good moves, shaking it, I mean, I can't dance. I'm a big man. I do the big man shuffle. We just move our shoulders. Me and my older brother.
so
That's how. Yeah, that's how me and my older brother were. We do the big man dance. Where we just all we do is just we just do this move. We just like moving our shoulders like this, and we shuffle our feet a little bit. We couldn't dance. My youngest nephew, that brother can cut. He can cut a move, backflip, shit like that. I couldn't do it, and now even though he can still do it because he's a little older now, but he still can do it. My man here, you know, Lawrence Perkins, saying, "Keep on inspire others around the world, Danielle, and many more blessings to come on your journey." Shout out to man Lawrence Perkins. Also, Brooke says, "God bless you, Queen." He's a fan. Also, Lauren says you nail it on the stage as well. You're very beautiful as well. And and Sean McMillan says he agrees. And also, I mean, we got a new here, Freddie B, looking good, Danielle. Appreciate this, Freddie B. And here we got one guy here. I don't know. I want to show this one. But he comes in here. He supports my channel. This is my man, Balls Deep, sexy as AF, and also he says and swole. So I don't know if talking about him or you, but appreciate it, brother. But yeah, it's just the opportunity to come up there because even though you didn't get into the top 10, you were like in the middle of the 16th because one person that was surprised I got that low was Rashana. I mean that was like a shocker to me.
Yeah, well, I I just like I said, you go in and you want to place well. I mean, you don't prepare for any show. I don't, in my mind, wanting to do less than your best, right? Um, but at the same time, I know I haven't been around that long, and I need to just continue just showing up more.
Hmm.
That's all. And my best is still to come. I'm not rushing it, and that's been my kind of like mode of operandi this whole time. Anyway, my goal usually is to only do like one show a year, you know, and I kind of want to stick to that whole maybe 1 to 2 shows now that I'm on this level a year. And so, like, I've decided that I'm going to take a nice long off season and I'm still going to train hard, but I'm not planning on doing a show next year. This will give me the time that I need to really make my necessary changes, do things in a healthy way, the way I want to. Um, like I said, preserving femininity is number one for me
Hmm.
at
Yeah,
the end of the day.
yeah, that's the big thing about the sport. I know, like when I do content about, like, especially women's physique division, I often say I don't want to go to bodybuilding because I lose my femininity. But I'm looking at people like you and Rashana and Sheena and also a lot of the ladies who have become friendly with. We both know Jada Beverly. I mean, there are some beautiful women in this sport. And I do content on it. Like I do a thing called comparison moves. I call a thing called sex appeal. I even talk about you because you are sexy, you're beautiful, you have a great physique. And yeah, it's a tough thing about, like, I know, a lot of people say I want to stay busy, I want to stay competitive. Like the new Miss Olympia physique, Natalia, she was doing like 4 or 5 shows after Olympia. I have heard some people say, you know what, I wouldn't do that many shows, because especially you already get your qualification. You should just sit back, relax, and Joe. But I think that was the reason why she did so well, because I watched some of the videos. I saw Sarah. Sarah looked good, but she was just a slight off at some points. And and it's just that thing is you have to put in that hard work. I think some say that if you stay active as athlete, that does help you out a little bit. We got a man here, Balls Deep, says, as y'all feel like to say, Chicago's in here. He's also said, smash that like button. And he says, what up to the chat? Also, a man, Lawrence Perkins, is dropping, saying, my condolences to you and your family. He always alive in your spirit and heart and soul and dreams. And, condolences to your family. And like one thing, when you started, and you told your parents, hey, mom and dad, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. What was the first thing that came out of their mind or their mouth? Or what they said? What they supportive was say, "Oh, sweetheart, you're too beautiful. That's such a you gotta have a chin like who has that big, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you can look like Lou Ferrigno. I don't want my baby to be like that."
It was for them. They knew that I was passionate about fitness because I had been kind of at it. I started training off and on in 2015. So they saw that my lifestyle had changed. Me being a dancer my whole life, and being competitive, they were like, "Oh, okay, this I guess this makes sense." But of course, my dad at one point was, like, I don't want you to to get a little too crazy. I don't want you to be, walking around, like me having to call you Dan and whatnot. And it was just like, you know, don't don't overdo it. And he was so proud. I mean, they went to my first show, and they went to Vegas when I was gunning for my pro card my first time. And even though I missed it by one, I got third. They were so proud of me. And then I remember right after I did North Americans the next month and went pro, they were the first. I flew right back home and went and saw them, and we took pictures and celebrated that I got my pro card. So, and he was always talking about me when he would go to the gym. Like, he worked out at LA Fitness. He would talk to the people at the front desk. And that's one of the things that I wish that I had been able to do, because I was starting to help him out. Like, he was going to the gym. I remember as a kid, I remember he would call it the spa, but he was always working out. Was he a big muscular buff guy? No, especially because he loved his snacks. But he he did all right. He did all right. He did all right. He could have done better, but he loved going to the gym, and so he would say like, "Oh, my daughter's gonna come in and coach me," and I would help him at the house, but then COVID happened and all the gyms were shut down, and that's like one of my regrets, that I never got that chance to actually like go and like take him through a workout. But man, he was my biggest fan, and like it was tough actually. I think more this year, because even though he went last year, it was like after winning my show, it was like it hit me like, whoa, I got my Olympia qualification. But like he would be like the first person, like after every big win I've ever done, he would be the first person that I would, and I didn't have that. And he's why I overcame so many obstacles this year to even, do the Olympia. Because at one point, I kind of was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I didn't think I was good enough. I was like, oh, I'm in over my head. Like, this happened so fast, just other different things, mind games, and then overcoming some injuries, and just had to make some changes in coaching, like last minute, and things that were uncomfortable this year. There was a lot of growing and stretching, and where I would sometimes have him to kind of like bounce stuff off of. Like, I really had to become I'm in my later 30s now, but it's like I've had to do like the real growing up, the real growing up in real time, putting out your own fires. I'm sure you have those moments where you'd want to go to talk to your mom about something, and so it's been a whole lot of those moments this year of navigating, like, oh wow, like I don't have it, and I don't know, I felt him when I was on the stage, that he was just, I don't know, I just felt him, and I'm just grateful that he got to see me up to a certain point, and that I know without a shadow of a doubt that he was proud of me. And I just feel like now how I move and act as an athlete, representative, whatever I do, I want to carry his spirit and how I know he'd want me to be in everything that I do, and not change for anything or anyone else, not compromise that, because I know at the end of the day that what I'm doing and how I'm showing up is how he want me to be.
Yeah, I could feel you on that because my mom, we used to be like we lived together. She was not just my mom; she was my roommate too. We lived together almost 30 years together because we came up here. We lived out in the country. We came up here with me, my brother, my nephew, and then after a while, my brother left, my nephew left, and then it was me and my mom. We used to go here and there, go to yard sales. So that me and my older brother her because the old saying, a boy's best friend is his mother. And I can feel you on that because there's times where I say, what, the things I do that my mama taught me to say, and and truthfully, it takes a man to teach another man to become a man. And I had my older brother, I had my grandfather, my uncles, and other guys I knew. but a woman can mold a man, become the man he's going to be, and that's why I love my mother. That's why I appreciate her. And and there's times I wish that I would trade a day to just to be with her, have her around. We sit and talk. Where I mean, one time, this is Christmas about 3 years ago. She would like instruct me how to cook cakes. I cooked my first two cakes. One was I think one was a white icy cake, one was a chocolate cake. I think it was jelly or something like that. And she tasted it and said, "Son, it's not pretty, but it tastes good." I mean, I really appreciate that. We have here, my man Balls Deep saying, wait, see, he says a salute and what up again. Also, he's my man Sean says she's one of my favorites. You're his new favorite. Also, Brooke Morale, Miss Danielle, you are so beautiful. You got these guys. My man Balls Deep says happy Kwanzaa. Also, he says, nice rack. Oh, thank you, Balls Deep, for telling us that. We knew Balls Deep. It's obvious to the rest of us. Thank you for telling us that, Balls Deep. It's obvious to the rest of us. Also, like it says, Merry Kwanzaa and peace and blessings to the chat. And he also wants to give his condolences on your father. And just I can understand that. And the sport, like I said, it's maybe it's not a very popular sport per se, and the community is very small. Even though it's a kind of it's an international sport, but very small community. As you know, there's been things going on just this past year and last year. A lot of passes of people like Sean Roten, Lena Havani. Then a lot of controversy with the Mannion stuff going on. Another more controversy with a particular person who was at the Olympia with you, and she kind of disappeared. I don't talk about her on my channel too much. I don't talk about it at all. But what's your thoughts as an athlete when these things go around? Do you pay attention to it, or as I often say, like to quote my master Ra's al Ghul, "Be aware of your surroundings at all time, Mr. Swain."
Oh, I'm definitely have been keeping a watchful eye, and condolences for those that have passed, and especially some of those legends that you mentioned. And so to me, it's just a reminder to just try and be present. Don't rush processes. Try to keep good people around you. Stay grounded. And don't get caught up in the noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you get to that level, I'm not there yet. So I can only imagine, how much noise there can be. And at some point it does get a little hard to drown out. But right now it's easier for me to say those things. But there are some that do get to a certain level and they stay around because they're able to, again, just cut out all the noise,
Mm-hmm.
stay grounded, and stay focused on themselves and keeping good people around them. So that's a tell for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, my man, Brooke Burrell, Queen Danielle, you have a fan for life. Shout out to man Brooke Burrell. Also, my partner here, he's a good buddy of mine. He's also does content on women's bodybuilding stuff. My man KLA, the Wanderer. My mother ain't my best friend, but I tried to love her. That's kind of strange. I never know it. My man, also, we got here. I got a lot. These guys have got a lot of questions to ask. My man here, Money 2023, Balls Deep. He needs a Taya Cuejo or Brooke Walker. I would be flirting, but I would at the same time show a little respect and decorum. Yeah. Well, we know Balls Deep don't do that. He's just and to my man here, my man Oscar George with the politics on bodybuilding. Yeah, because you know what, every sport has politics. Was that long ago? Because you're from Cali. You're from SoCal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a little ways from San Francisco, and we have this whole thing with Colin Kaepernick, with the whole situation when he's trying to talk about the violence in you're very also active in community stuff, the violence with police violence and police harassment and also like that. But then people overlook the fact that the whole knee thing, he got it from a soldier who told him, don't hey, part respect to those, by kneeling. And people like remember Tim Tebow used to always sit and pray. But people are just so they would try to take and pick out what they feel is necessary for their own politics. And it's, like I said, with this sport, there is a lot of political stuff. But you know what? If you stay focused and minded on what you're doing, and don't get pulled into the BS. With me as a content maker, I had to pay attention to stuff. Like I just did a video. I think I sent it to you about a girl who just she's right now in a coma, and she's a bikini competitor. She was NPC, and it's crazy. I know a lady who's a friend of mine, Miss Alicia Flario. She told me a while back she was approached by bikini girls about gear. I said, wait a minute, gear? Bikini girls? I mean, you're thinking, okay, I can understand diuretics, but it's just that stuff. That's something I understand with the level of those divisions. Like women's bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, and others.
Well, I'll just speak for myself and from my, I guess, point of view. I think that things are changing, and for me, I definitely want to be competitive, but I also want to be safe. So I choose to just go at my own pace on things, because at the end of the day, you only get one body. So to me, longevity supersedes winning. I mean, not saying that if you are a winner that you are pushing yourself, but I just know that for me, I'd rather slow and steady it, and I'll get there when I'm supposed to get there. Mm-hmm. And as long as I'm healthy and maintaining my same look, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah. Because I like how I feel when I compete, and I've been in situations where I've not felt the best in the last couple of years. So I've had to taper down and make some changes and adjustments. And there are things that I chose not to do this go around, even though other people do choose to do those things. Mm-hmm. But again, that's my decision and my choice. And I'm the one who has to live in this body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable, because the fact is, you don't want to risk your life or your health just says, okay, I can win one show or something like that. It's about, okay, let me, like, instead of, I think sometimes the race is not about how fast you can go, it's how long you can go. Right. Some people are sprinters, some people are long distance runners. My man, KL, I want to ask you a question. I love her pictures. Wasn't she on Dee Dee on the Spot? I know you've done Dee Dee. You've done also female bodybuilding channel, AJ and JB, great guys. They are one of the few channels that get the opportunity to talk about women's bodybuilding. Myself, also a guy named his name is David. He's over at Female Bodybuilding Forum. I'll send you his link and check him out. And as fans of you ladies, we want to give y'all a spot. When I started this because I was taking care of my mom, and I needed something to help me with that stress of it. And I've been a fan of bodybuilding for a long time. And I just started just making videos, talking stuff like that. And then after she passed, I reached out to do interviews. I've interviewed people like, people I've become friendly with, people who I've been fans of. I did an interview with one of my earliest interviews was with the late Rhonda Lee Charisma, great lady, and she was also living around California too. And, before she passed. And then people like legends like Nancy Lewis and Sue Price, people like Rashana and Sheena. People like Wendy Sanchez, and those, and really get to meet some of these ladies, like Marianne Wachowski, and and to talk to them and being a fan as I have. I remember my first time I actually met female bodybuilders or any women's sport was when I went to an event by this guy who I'm friendly with. His name is Glenn Young Sr., and he reached out to me earlier this year. I got to meet Marianne and also people like Amanda Schnooks and some other ladies who are coming up, and just to go to someplace like Savannah and to meet some of these ladies in person and see a show. I mean, it's just like I said, the sport it's just back in the day when I was coming up, you used to watch it on television, like NBC, ESPN, and then now they pushed it out. Now you see in shows like, who poker and stuff like that. And even though, hey, you are athletes, you should get more consideration as anything. But it's just, the time, times are changing. We got my man here. This is my man, Big Duke over at Fourth Quarter Talk. Appreciate you, Big Duke. He says, salute to all the Race George page. Also he says, peace to the guests. Respect to you. Also, you got your new boyfriend here, Brooke Burrell. Brooke says, Queen Danielle, do you have any advice for aspiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair?
They have the Olympics for people in wheelchairs, so anything is possible. I mean, you can definitely build your upper body doing a lot of resistant work and bands, and it just depends on what your level of mobility is. But anything is possible.
Yeah, and also my man, it's my KL mentioned her pics because she does some great pictures over here. You got to check these out, fellas. And guys, hey, behave when you see these pics. And this is like I think this was here with you. This was like early in your career, and you had the big smile, and wow, you had a big smile there. This was your first show, or which show was this? Yeah, that was your first show.
And, 2018 was when November 2018.
Yeah, that was just a day for my birthday. I'm on 19. Yeah, I was just and here, which is sitting in this chair. Damn, wow. I mean, yeah.
That was last year. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, if I come and see that in that chair, say, "Oh, were you looking for me?" I'd be like, damn. I mean, she has some great pictures. I mean, very, as Smos, we just love when you ladies like this one. He's here. I mean, just wow. That's something about what is it about red, and just something about red just kind of gets us excited. It's like we're like buffalo, we're like bulls. We see that. And here he is with the legend herself, 10-time Miss Olympia, 7-time Miss International, Iris Kyle. I mean, what y'all talk about when you were there was this at the Olympia?
No, that was at her gym powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
She was so busy, but she was just nice enough to take a picture with me, and she told me that I looked good, and she was just very nice. Like, just said good luck, and there were so many legendary people at the gym. Like Big Robbie was there with his whole team and entourage, and Ivy Rain was there, and Teresa Vancic was there. I mean, there was a lot of people there. Yeah. But it was so awesome that she extended it to the Olympians, and she just was really nice and gracious, and she's a phenomenal woman. And there's Hella.
Yeah, the big Dane herself, Hella Trevino. I mean, because he said she's your coach. Here's y'all two behind it there, hug it up. So this is like, wow, y'all hug it up there. I think I see Donna right there in the corner, and I think
Donna.
Yeah. I mean, it was just great, to be able to stand so like, and here this is a picture with you, and that's your sister, right?
Yeah.
She's the oldest, right?
No, I'm older.
You sure?
I hope she doesn't hear that.
Yeah, but like you said, you're both cute. Yeah. Who she looks more like your mother. Or you take after your dad. Who y'all think put that?
She takes after dad. I look more like my mom, but we're adopted. But,
well, you know what? There's an old saying: as long as they fed you, your family. And here is
of course.
Yeah, and here's her at the Olympia. I think red is just something about red makes your skin pop. It's just something about that color red. Here's a little also her routine. She's coming out there. And just look at it. I mean, wow, you look really good. I mean, this is your first Olympia. What was that feeling when you call your number out and you get on the stage?
It's showtime. Let's go.
Oh wow, like I know somebody said I remember one lady said her first show, she puked because she was so nervous, and and sometimes I think a big show like Olympia is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and a big show like that,
I will admit that I forgot my side chest, but I wasn't nervous when I went out.
Because being a dancer, you used to performing, so that's something It's not nothing strange to you, especially being in front of an audience.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
just wanted to make sure that my posing was exactly the way Hella would want me to pose, but I wasn't nervous about being out there. Mm-mm.
hmm yeah. This is your future baby daddy, Brooke Burrell. Queen Danielle, do you have any advice? Oh, I think I already said that. You know, yes, yeah, I already said that. I thought yeah. No, it's the same thing. He just what this is it's the same thing, but he just added something to it. He said, "Brooke,
Yeah.
yeah, advice for aspiring bodybuilder, who also has diabetes." Okay, because he added that part too, because usually he adds that thing. But is are you you're not a coach or trainer per se, but would you ever think about getting into it? Because I know like people like Hella, he's coaches. I know a lady who just recently did who just got stepped out because she had an injury. Jeanine, Lukowski, she's a coach. Quite a lot of you ladies who are coaches and trainers.
I do coach people. I haven't really started to market or promote that I do. I don't want to train people. I just help people with mind and body, just mental health, just things that are applicable practices for better mental fortitude and just sense of self. And then I help people with their nutrition plan and their supplementation plan, and I'll go over like what they do as far as their workouts, but I have no desire to actually train people. And then I eventually want to do posing myself for others. I think I want a little bit more time, probably studying a little bit myself. But see, I didn't get a chance to perform my dancing, my posing, all the posing routines I've ever done has been my choreography. I did have Melvin insert a little bit of himself into my guest posing and my uh, pro debut, but all my other routines, I just had people clean them up. I didn't even get a chance to show Hella my actual like 2 minute presentation, and I would have shut it down. I love performing. I'm a dancer first. I mean, I was gonna do Michael Jackson, and I grew up watching him. Yes, I grew up watching him. He's everything to me. He's the standard of performance. And for me, Miss Olympia, you need to be able to perform. I mean, really perform. And so I am very glad that I did have the the um, the posing classes with her, and that I was able to perfect it because I know it's going to make me that much better of a competitor, and then eventually a teacher myself.
Yeah, because I growing up, I was a big Michael Jackson fan. Also, I like Prince. I mean, I like Prince. He was just
I
if I
have
had a
respect for him, but I've always in debates and in discussions, I've always gone to bat for Michael, and I understand that I have to give Prince his dues. I really, truly do, and I've come to terms with that. But I'm sorry. To me, there's only one Michael Joseph Jackson, and there never will be another.
well, there was only one, Prince Roger Nelson, and there would never be another. I can say, brother Prince. Hey, I remember this comedian. This is a true story. This comedian. He was friends with Prince. They grew up in Minnesota together, and they used to play football. Like the true story about the Hollywood story with the Charlie Murphy. That's a true story about him playing basketball when he was a kid. And
Yes.
he said one day, Prince saw him say they were out and about. He saw him say, Prince said, "Yo, man, I'm going to do cancer. You want to come check me out?" I said, "Okay." And he was like, dogs and tickets. He said, "I got my friend. Say, this is my boy. It's my boy. This is my boy. It's my boy. You can see me concert. He's going big." And this is, I think, the Dirty Mind tour. And Prince comes out with, he wearing, was it that lace hat, a pair of blue blocker shades, trench coat, wearing bikini underwear, and high heel boots. I mean, yeah. But that was
Wow.
Prince's thing. That would make
Yeah.
him so different. And and there was
Yeah.
the debate, like Prince had like 4 or 5 wives, and I think it was possibly he possibly had children, but that's something we can debate on later on. My man, Raheem Hamilton says, "Sweet Kwanzaa." Yes, appreciate you, brother. Also, he says, "Kill it with Michael Jackson's next show. You do use your Rock My World great song. You know, I like the rock. Yeah, that's crazy. I like RZA. Michael Jackson mentions a bunch of it. Prince is not music you use for bodybuilding shows. Hey. There's Thieves in the Temple. There's
There are some actual good songs that you could pose and dance to. Yeah,
yeah, it's like
Deep
it's
to the
great
Temple
songs.
is a good song. Yeah.
I remember I sent a friend of mine, like I said, like I said, I work out. And I use music when I look like I do, and I sent her like it was a song by Drake and I think I see a copy of it. You can listen to it. Drake and Beyonce. It's called "Can I?" And so she liked it. She's not a big Beyonce fan, but she liked because the beat. And and sometimes it says music does help you, especially when you work out. Because there's one thing I listen to. It's like somebody made a Rocky thing, like a big Rocky Balboa fan. Grew up, how I mean Rocky Balboa says like no matter how hard you hit, it's about how you can take the hits and keep going, keep moving forward. And that's why I respect you ladies because you take the hits, you take
Yeah.
people commenting on you, you take people insulting you. Guys, like I said, right now she's in her Olympia's outfit, and guys would say, "Wow, this is a hot chick." But then she take off the jacket and say, "She got muscles." I said, "Nah." But that'd be nah, man. I'm not into that. But then there'll be the same guys who'll be seeing stuff you did and say, "Hey, Danielle, you want to go out with me? I think you're sexy." And then you walking around with them someplace and say like, "Hey, man, what you do with that buff chick?" "No, I'm not with her. I'm not with her." Then you say, "No, I'm sorry, Danielle. I didn't mean to. My boys were picking on me. I didn't want to." Just I'm like, if I'm like this, even though as a man, I would say like this is a beautiful woman. If she's holding my hand, I'd be like, "Thank you, please, thank you." I know it's a smo in me. I'm a most pro smo. I'm gonna admit it. And and like I said, I remember this true story where I used to be on all these message boards. And I remember this guy saying like, there's a smoke saying said like, "When your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard." And it's exciting to see y'all ladies and to really respect your passion for sport when which other people have their prejudice against you. And like I said, they need to understand there's not much difference from any other women in the sport, from any other person outside of the sport.
No, it's we're all the same. I mean, you have good and bad people, no matter if you have uh, tons of muscle to no muscle. It's who you are intrinsically is a universal thing. Where it does, I guess, set us apart is people's perception of what is feminine and what is pushing the boundaries, and everybody's scale and gauge is different. I am grateful that I've not encountered anybody who's been put off by my muscle, man or woman. And I kind of I want to stay in that vein as I continue to progress and grow at my own rate. And I have my vision for where I want to stop, you know, and where I see my end goal. And again, if it's to other people's liking, that's fantastic. And if it isn't, that's okay too, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about what we inside see for ourselves, and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be about what others want,
Hmm.
or to get something from other people. It should be, what do you feel and how do you see yourself, in respects to also wanting to compete. But even when I'm done competing, I still want to have muscle, and I still want to uh, show that I am a bodybuilder, maybe in a different, fashion, but I still like having muscle and showing that you can be muscular and feminine at the same time. When I was younger, I was always kind of fit because I was a dancer first. And I remember in high school being called Buff Cat, and guys saying, "Wow, those guns, you could probably arm wrestle. You could probably be a bodybuilder." This was before I ever picked up a weight. I've always kind of, or family members would be like, "Oh, look, she's got Tina Turner legs." Tina Turner had the muscular legs and the
Hmm.
calves, right? So I've always kind of been this. I just got to a point in my life where I stopped running and trying to conform and be what I thought was what everyone wanted me to be, especially as a dancer. I mean, now we have Misty Copeland and other women that have followed suit that make it more acceptable to be a ballerina and not be your typical skinny stick figure. She
Yeah.
was able to bust down those doors. But
Yeah.
growing up for me, I was told tone it down, and I was not a bodybuilder then. I
Hmm.
was just always kind of like straight up and down. I wasn't your typical curvy um, kid, and I wasn't a skinny little wafy kid either.
Hmm.
So it just kind of, my genetics, it's like I was born to carry muscle. So now it's cool to me that I have a reason to do so because I'm a professional bodybuilder. So, and I still have the look that I have. So everybody just thinks it's great.
Yeah. Because you mentioned with Missy Copeland, it's a lot. Like this is what I learned. There's quite a few ballet ballerinas, even not just the men, but the women. They're some of them are like built like almost like I would say figure competitors. You see them in the little tutu stuff, but then when they take off their clothes, if they're
Oh
not
yeah,
really like,
Missy, she's got some muscle.
mhm,
Mhm.
yeah, now they don't look like the wafy
Love
type
it.
of girls, but yeah, they really have that great lean physical build.
Yeah.
We have a debate between here, Rameh Raheem. He's saying you can dance to Michael Jackson. The only Prince song you can use is "Let's Go Crazy." Hey, more than "Let's Go Crazy." My man, back me up. My man, Balls Deep says Prince Ballad of Dorothy Parker. Also, my darling Nikki. That's a classic. Nikki want to grind. And also, he also says like this: use Killer Mike, God in the building. He says, yeah. It says, yes, Lord. And also, Raheem says one more. Or little red
Red
beret,
berry beret.
yeah,
Yes,
red
that's
beret,
a good one too.
or little red Corvette. That's a good one.
Little
This
red beret is good. I
yeah,
think it's raspberry, isn't it raspberry beret?
yeah. I think raspberry beret. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the time that
Little red
changes.
Corvette was another good song too.
Yeah, he has. We just talking about Prince here. We're not talking about Michael. Like I think
But
Dirty
anyway,
Diana.
my dance, Michael, I'm just yeah.
Yeah, Dirty Diana.
I can't say what it
Yeah.
was because I'm going to do it again, and I want it to be a surprise. But it was from the bad era, and I'm just. It was actually Gangster's Paradise and a Michael Jackson song.
Wow, I hate that couldn't you got to do before because I know because
I
it said
know.
because usually it's only the top 10 competitors that get to do
Yeah.
the finals. What
Yes.
did Margie Andrea dance to?
I didn't.
Oh,
I.
you see it? I see. Oh, I'm sorry. I started putting on the block like that. I didn't need to, but my
Okay.
man, Raheem. When I work out to music of Tootsie Roll commercial. That's future commercial. And a man here, Bossy, I'll let the world know she's mine because hey, you like she's my girl. You like that guy who gets you ever like I know dudes like you say like that guy get out of prison and you see the first girl you see say my girl. Nobody mess with her. Like or you be like one of the crazy things I remember was remember the Boondocks, the guy the Booty Warrior. She likes you and she wants you. We can do this the
Oh my
easy way
gosh,
or
I
the
missed
hard
that
way.
show.
Yeah, dude. They said they was gonna bring him back, but then
Huey and Riley.
yeah.
Yeah.
John Wismu passed away,
Rest
and
in peace. I know, Granddad. You can't
yeah.
replace him, and you can't replace
Well,
Granddad.
it said at one point they was gonna use his son. His son could do pretty good, but then and then I don't it was money issues like that. I mean, it was I used to love watching. Remember the episode where with the teacher that was based on a true story. The teacher. Saying the nigga, saying I say nigga, and I said, well that's real, because
Oh yeah,
I found that out while I'm on YouTube a lot. I hear my man
there's
Raheem
a Glenn is a
Harrington.
genius.
If my homies see me on a date with you, guess they would say you are a man. Well, she's not a man. She is a beautiful woman, and also he says, how long has it been in the game of bodybuilding? I think, like I said, you hadn't been in too long, like
4 years,
4 years. So you started around about 27,
2018.
2018,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got on a couple of shows. Then you got your pro card in 2020. I think
2019.
2019. Oh, that's when same year Jada got hers.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
got mine after her.
Uh huh. Yeah.
So
You
I
know.
did. I did 3 shows. Well, on my third show is when I went pro. So I did one amateur, one national, and then my second national, I got my pro card.
Yeah, yeah. And my man Raheem Hamilton says, I remember being called, "Hey, you back in the high school? Good times." Yeah,
I
yeah,
I had some good and bad moments. I think everybody has moments of high school that sucked. So
yeah.
don't
I
think
could, I could.
because when I look how I look that everything was no.
I think
We've glowed up in these last few years.
where me, I didn't. I blew up, didn't glow up. When I was in high school, I was already about almost 200 pounds by the time I was in. So because I'm a big country boy, I played football for a couple of years. Then you get out of high school, you don't work out anymore. I was like one of the strongest guys on my team. I was already by the time I was 16, I was already bench pressing almost 400 pounds, squatting 600 pounds. I mean, one guy says, "Man, damn, George, you strong." George, can you something to say? What is it, man? What you asking me? You ever had some? Say no. Well, son, you cock strong. That's why. Also, my man, Raheem is also saying, what's here? I say they will tell me I am the man when they see me with her shaking my damn head. Yeah, you like I said, that's the thing is about that. Folks, we don't want to keep it too long. She has been a busy day. She's still a little bit under the weather. I was trying to say, let's push it back a little bit and give it time. But you know what? She wanted to be on here, and she wanted to be determined to be here with me. I feel so special, and one of my heroes is Batman. And what made Batman so great, he didn't have powers like Superman. He didn't have powers like Wonder Woman. He was a human, and it was his determination that makes him like. I remember this episode where it was a Justice League, where he's going after this guy, and the guy's telling him, saying Batman, say, "You're just a regular man. What makes you come after me? What can you keep going?" Say like, "I'm determination. I have determination, and that's what you have. That determination that keeps you going in the sport." My man KLA, he says, "George, you read Raheem text wrong. He said if he was walking with her, his friends would congratulate him." Well, okay, you say that, he should have said, "I am the man," or something like that, because I read it, but you can't always read it when you want it. My man, Balls, he says, pause. And George can't read. Well, you can't talk, so forget about you, Balls Deep. And also, my man Marcus Bell from my family, Serious Combat Sports. We talk about MMA, boxing. We also, that's why I also talk about content too about boxing. Salute to all the Raise George page coming through, smashing that like button. Hello, Miss Danielle. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Also, we have here Raheem. Superman is better than Batman. Truthfully, he is. He's true, but Batman could potentially playing for Superman. And also, George, how you get these women on your show, brother? Determination. That's how I do it. That's how I do it.
Determination.
Yeah. So, folks, like I said, we're not gonna hold too much longer. Like I said, it was great for her to come through here. Like I said, I feel like that ugly kid when you get that pretty girl coming on a date with you. I feel so special. I feel so special. I feel like Curly from the Three Streets. And talking with like ladies like you and Jada and Sheena and Tina and all these ladies in sport bodybuilding, and also just to give y'all a platform to to share with us, the fans, and to educate people about what you ladies go through. Um, you know, um, just she's just it's just amazing. My man KL, he's hating right now. He's hating. Stop lying, George. She likes you. I don't know if she likes me or not. Maybe she respects me. That's one thing. You respect me in the morning, Danielle, and that's the thing I think is as a content maker, we want the most from you ladies. We want your respect. We are like or sometimes I'm like this. Sometimes there'll be times where I might have issues like a particular person. She made some comments to me and I said, you know what? I don't need you. I don't need to worry about you. I move on. I'll focus on the people like you and all the other ladies out there who need the recognition. You need to be recognized. And this is one thing I would like to, if I could do this, because one thing about the sport, you need money and promotion, and that's the hard part. I know a lot of you ladies who do photo sessions for certain websites, or I call them the Beat the Meat websites. That's what they are. We know what they are. And you do it because it's a way to make your money. But if I can do this, if I had the ways and the means to do this, I would say like this. Miss Willis, I would love to promote you. I love to put money behind you, sponsor you as an athlete. Now, there's the other guys who say like this, yeah, you're pretty hot, you get me kind of a little funny feeling below, no, don't do that. Stop and think about what you say, what comes out of your mouth. Say like this. As again, Miss Willis, if I could, I would like to promote you. I'd like to see you go up to your next level. I want to see you progress as an athlete. If you need something from me, I will happy to give it to you with no strings attached. Just want to see you grow, and that's what we need to see in the sport. We need to see y'all ladies get more support, and us fans who stand by you, we support you. I wish I had the means, the way to do it. I wish you can do more. But out there, you guys out there who do have the means and ways to do this, please reach out to someone like Danielle. Please, any of these ladies out there, because they can use this support. This is a expensive sport between the cost of your suit, traveling, food. You live in like I said, you live in California. You have to drive to Vegas, but still, that's cost of gas. And some ladies had to come from the other side of the country, like the two chicks from Brazil. They came up there. Also you have Blanca come all the way from Croatia. Some of the ladies who lucky to live in the States, it still costs to travel.
Right. It's expensive. It definitely is. And fans and, friends of the sport, they're the ones that really keep us going. And I'm grateful that I had a lot of those this time around to help get me to the Olympia. And, we do need more support. And it is expensive, but it's the best thing. It's the best career that I've chosen thus far for me. And I just know that it's going to continue to open up other doors and avenues for me. But as far as being supported for the sport itself, oh yeah, I mean, of course, it's made possible by the fans.
Mm-hmm. We know that. We have a man, Sean McMillan says, Danielle would be a great bat girl.
Well, I'm going to be getting back out there on the circuit, going on some auditions soon. So just stay tuned. We'll see. I would love to, represent muscular women on the big screen.
Yeah, we need. I know some ladies that say like the Wonder Woman Gail Gadot. She's a little bit skinny. I know a lady.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I know one. Yeah, one thing I would love to do. I remember I was talking with one lady. I said her name is Brittany Parrish. She's a amateur bodybuilder. She calls herself the real Wonder Woman. You got Danielle Daniels, Rachel McDaniels, sorry, who calls herself the real Lois Lane. I would love to do this. I would love to do like a cosplay booth at a Comic Con and hire you ladies as dressed up like I have you as like there's actually a black Wonder Woman. People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. Also like maybe Storm. People like like my dear friend Tia Williams. She's tall lady. I could say as Wonder Woman or Big Barda. One person, I don't know if you saw her. She was there at the Olympia. Alicia Young. I think I have her as Power Girl because she's very, Alicia. I was telling one person say, I know I was talking with Eva Montgomery. I said like Eva, I mean, if I was talking to Alicia, I'd be like, I gotta look her. I gotta look up like that. I can't look down. I can't because she's short. I know she's short, and you can't look. You try to make eye contact, but then your
eyes. We're on the same height.
Are you 5'3"?
I'm 5'2", 3/4.
Oh, well, you're shorty too, And let's think about I think a lot of the girls, like people like Alicia, Bronca. I mean, also I think Michaela Aycock. I think she'll be a good Wolverine because she's like 5'4", 4'11". Because a lot of people don't. If you follow the comic books, Wolverine's very short.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's freaking. I mean, I've seen pictures of her. She getting freaky. She get huge.
She's awesome. Yeah. Her conditioning is just amazing. I mean, it's just on its own other level. And she's so nice.
Yeah,
compete with her and see that physique in person. Like she is diced.
Yeah, she probably make chop suey if you put it on like that. We got a few more questions before we head out. My man Raheem saying every woman named Danielle always looked fine. Yeah, I knew Danielle looked fine. Also, Raheem said, wait, how much does a man suit cost? Because I am in the process of looking to get into show. Those pose suits, the banana hammocks only cost like $50, $60 if I didn't get it. Oh, snap, Danielle, I'm an actor too. Good luck with your acting career. My man Raheem. Also, Raheem's a fan. Gail Gadot is the great Wonder Woman. She looks great. Yeah, she looks all right. I like her. Female Wolverine, he said, we will say either Bronca or I would say Michaela. And also we got here, from man. I think it's from my man KL. I would promote you if you let me interview Miss Danielle. Well, like I said again, before we head out, her information in the description, folks. If you want to reach out to her, if you are serious about doing an interview and you promote her, reach out to her. Be genuine about doing this. But here's the thing, and and I just don't know why. Y'all hard heads because you get, maybe just your hard heads to hit something that's hard. No D pics. Don't send that stuff. I know Diane's a pretty girl. She looking at she has those big bright eyes, and she just right now I'm sipping like a simp. I'm sweating like a whore in church right now right in front of her. And be respectful for these ladies. There are women, they're athletes. Ladies I have talked to are mothers, their wives. Some have husbands, some have boyfriends. You have a boyfriend?
No, I'm just seeing what's out there.
Yes, as respect that. Like I said, I remember somebody told me a long time ago. Like when I used to work this, I used to work this. I used to have a couple of jobs. One of my main jobs was I used to work at a textile plant. I used to work with all women. And one woman just told me one time, I said, George, you live with your mama, son? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, son, stay at home with your mama. Do what you got to do as a man, but come back home to your mama. And I did that. I used to also work at a strip club. So, and
Oh,
hey, guys, be telling, man, you looking to come with those girls, man? You looking? Nah, dude. When it's a bad day, hey, it's a bad day. I was studying, massage therapy. I used sometimes the girls get like, George, you think you rub my leg, something like that, and they even paid me to do it because hey, I was studying and that would help me with my practice. But like I said, my man Raheem is quoting me also. Wait, only losers and geeks send D pics. That is crazy, guys. Be respectful. Damn. Yeah, yeah. Be respectful. 'Cause like I said, this is a lady here. We have here a lady. If you want to send D pics, send it to the hoes in the street. They take them. But we got a lady here, fellas. We got a lady. So, like I said, while you're here, before we let you go, you have anybody you want to shout out to? Anybody you want to say, appreciate your thanks or whatever else like that?
shout out to my team, David Ellis, Travion Daniels, Ed Caius. Big thank you again to Hello Trevino for just being an amazing posing coach and just an example. And of course, shout out to my mom and my sister. They made the trip to the Olympia to be there to see me. So I'm just so grateful that I have my family supporting me. And I'm not done, and I'm going to step back on that stage when I'm ready and represent California the best way that I can.
Well, there's another one of my quotes I remember from Batman. He said, like, in order to be something great, a man must be determined to be great. And and it's just so much you have in you. And I've been a fan of yours for a good while, and to able to sit here and talk to you and to share your story with us here, it really inspires us as fans to realize that there's so much people don't realize. There's so much like me. There's so much I feel like I can't believe how much things I can find I have in common with some of you ladies. I'm about I used to be. This is a true story. I used to be when my mom was sick. I was almost 500 pounds. And then I became good friends related by Tisha Thomas, the Tigress. She used to get up and do a little exercise in IG. I was following them. And then after a while, I started doing my own. And the other ladies, they taught me and tell me little stuff. And right now, I am just under 300 pounds.
Good for
And
you.
yeah, it's tough. There's still bad habits. It'd be calling me man, be calling my nerd. And I'm following them. But like I
Yeah.
try to stay determined. And that's what things that inspire. And talk to people like you and seeing that there's some things we have some common. Even though it's just small things, it's just makes you feel like it's that there's a more commonality between just a guy like me who has a pacemaker, two bad knees, a bad shoulder, and and just just trying to make it day by day with someone like you. And I think that really kind of really keeps me going.
Well, again, I just want you to know that don't uh, looks and aesthetics, they don't discriminate from struggle. They don't discriminate from um, mental challenges. So I want to be somebody that is relatable to people that do have challenges that they have to overcome. I'm going to start being more open and show different sides of me more than just what people are used to, the modeling and more of the, serious side, because I've overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges just, having bipolar and suffering from depression and anxiety. I've, like I always say, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But people, they don't see that, they don't get it, they don't understand, that don't know me because of what they see. And then, people think, oh, well, you can't be sad, you can't have bad days, you can't go through things because look at you. And so, you may see me and think, oh, here I am with a pacemaker and, overweight and all these things, I'm going through it. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that no, I don't have a pacemaker, but every day for me is a battle within itself. And so, again, in closing, I'll always be proud of being able to make it on that stage because everybody's a fighter, but I feel like nobody fights as hard as I do. Nobody does, because you have to be a true warrior to walk in these shoes. And I've started to become more vocal, but I'm going to now be more. I'm more open about it now than I was before. But there's been more celebrities and people with bigger platforms like Selena Gomez and stuff like that. They make me feel more comfortable, because I've opened up to certain people in certain aspects, and some people, they don't get it, or when no one wants to talk about it with bodybuilding because it's more look at me and self-centric and that type of thing. But I don't know, before closing out, I just felt like I wanted to touch on that because that's, to me, been a big part of my obstacles and hurdles that I've had to overcome in the last few years, trying to make sure that I'm stable, balanced, healthy, and well, aside from overcoming all of the different things that I've kind of covered. So, yeah, it's, to me, I'm an overcomer. And so this was my first Olympia. But if I can wake up every day and conquer myself every day, I'm going to make it back on that stage.
Mhm.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
Mhm. One of my classic quotes from my favorite movie, the Batman Begins trilogy, is like, when Thomas Wayne says to son Bruce, "Why do we fall? So we learn to pick ourselves up."
Right.
Well, folks, I'd like to thank y'all for coming through. My man Raheem Hamilton, my brother Thomas. Sorry, my brother Marcus Bell, KLA, the Wanderer, Sean McMillan. Balls deep, balls deep. You gotta behave yourself, brother. I know she's a pretty girl. You gotta behave yourself. All you who will watch this video, share, comment, subscribe, follow Danielle on social media. Like I said, next year she's gonna take a break. We might see her in 2024. So yeah, that's a big shot. 24 Olympic. As you know, the Olympia has moved back to
Orlando.
Orlando. I think it's a good move from what I heard. Some people say like a lot of people got sick. So you and a lot of people, I think maybe it was maybe the weather because it's so cold. You would think
Yeah, cold and dry. It just was not a good combination. And
yeah,
I'm from Cali, but we have a little bit of humidity out here.
yeah. I live in North Carolina. We're like we're a coastal city. We're not. I'm not that far from Myrtle Beach, and I'm good like 100 miles from Myrtle Beach, and also from Wilmington, and like 2 miles from South Carolina. Yeah, we don't get to like, we don't get too dry right here. Kind of get a humid some days. I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
yeah. I mean,
I know where the area where you're from. So
yeah. But
I lived on the East Coast for a little bit.
yeah,
So,
that's cool. But anyway, folks, we do like to thank the lovely Miss Danielle Willis. This pretty hot cup of mocha with the light eyes. My man play the Himalayas, to say. But like I said, support her in a path. Show respect to this lady. Like I said, my rules, fellas. I know Danielle's a pretty girl. You get side of her. You see her in this outfit. Hey, fellas, but don't do that. Don't do that. Be respectful. Realize this is a lady, this is an athlete, and it's not enough that she has to go through what society or wants her to be as a woman. She is the woman. And I really appreciate her for coming through, sharing her story with me and all y'all. Folks, I know, tomorrow is Christmas. I hope, like I said, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
And
Happy
and
New Year.
yeah, and to everybody, it's the same to y'all. Like I said, we only have one more week left of these 2021, 2022. You know,
Yes.
yeah, I tell you, time flies. You seem like when I was a kid, Christmas took forever to come, and birthdays seem like it, took forever. Now they seem like they just come every other day. But like I said, I want to thank you again for having time. I want to wish you all the best of luck. Whatever you do, whatever endeavors, like I say, if you ever want to come back on and just shoot the shit like we did before, I'm happy to have you here. You are a welcome guest. These guys here, guys said again, follow her on social media description. I gave you, she's on IG. Also, if she has any more other content she wanted to talk about, happy we'll share with y'all. But like I said, here's my rules. And I'm gonna keep telling you, I know you're hard heads because you got hard dons. No deep pics, guys. Don't do that shit. Stop it. Stop it. Like that Michael Jordan old commercial say, stop it. He's from my home state of North Carolina. Anyway, folks, this is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. I'd like to thank the lovely Miss Danielle Willis for coming through. Like, comment, subscribe, support the ladies in sport of bodybuilding, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We are out.